Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So I've played the first game of the trilogy a long time ago. I'm not entirely sure if I ever beat it. I think I did, but honestly I remember so little about it that I'm not even sure if I actually finished the entire game or if I just got most of the way through it. I always intended to kind of like go back and play the rest of the series, but honestly, I think it would make for a good Let's Play series, so I think we're going to try and do that. You know, if I'm going to go back and play the first game, may as well record it, right? Now, so it's not entirely blonde. I would classify this as like semi-blonde, because I do remember a few things, but overall, very little. It's the first turnabout? Yeah, that sounds good. Do that. We've got an achievement already? Wow, gasp. Gasp! That's supposed to be inside your body. Damn it! Why me? Can't get caught. Not like this. I gotta find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. I mean, should they be showing us the face of the killer this early? August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Yes, like I said, I'm nervous, right? Hiya, Chief. Whew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good idea. We're not prepared, dude. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Are you trying to disparage my client? Because if so, we will see you in court. It's right there. We can walk in and, you know, get this trial started. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yeah. Actually, I kinda, like, owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just, really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, he does that. Yeah, it's him. Death, despair. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. It sounds like he wants to die. Well, you know, just wait until he sees our performance in the courtroom. Then he'll really want to kill himself. Yeah. Nick. Hey there, Larry. You look like a Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. We shouldn't do that. As your lawyer, I'm gonna tell you not to tell the courtroom you're guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. All about how my life got twisted, turned upside down. I mean, in this case, it's a very simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. That's actually his real legal name. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. Also, can we make this very quiet? I do have to say the noise when it does the text box scroll is a little, like, annoying. That does seem kind of familiar now that I think about it. Let's back up. But I know better than anyone. He's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one, which is why I took the case to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. August 3, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Defense is even more ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? No, I've tried thousands of murder cases before. Yeah, Your Honor, I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, God. Hand shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case, Phoenix Wright. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is the murder trial. Tell me the victim's name. I got no clue. I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's, wait. No, wait. I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? The victim. Yeah, of course I know the victim's name. I just forgot temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press tab to check it any time. I'm using the controller. Okay. How do I look at it? I mean, yes. No buttons give us a more detailed. Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Like, can we? I mean, Cindy. Okay, Cindy Stone. The victim, a model. She lived in an apartment by herself. Got it. Who is the victim in this case? Cindy Block. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what are those 3 wacky digits on the back of your credit card, Phoenix Wright? What was the cause of death? She died because she was poisoned, hit with a blunt object, strangled. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all of my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed as soon as you give me your social security number. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor, because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Objection? The statue added to the court record. It's very heavy, right? Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use tab to check the court record frequently. Yep. It's very heavy. Mr. Payne, the prosecution calls his first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Can we just, like, say no? Chief, what do I do now? Like, can't we just refuse to have him testify? That's something we both have to agree to. Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Sorry, what is on the side of your head? Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy! We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet. Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Those relationships didn't end well? Didn't they all die? I mean, granted, everyone in history dies eventually. I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me, ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies. All of it. Lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Okay, she arrived on 7:30 the day before the murder. Indeed, she appears to have returned to the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several, as the kids say, sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? That's my favorite candy, dude. Yes, older men who gave her money and outfits. She took their money and used it to support their lifestyle. Dude, we can clearly see what kind of woman this Mr. What are you trying to say, huh? Huh? You trying to disparage the dead? Because that's not a good look, dude. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I mean, I guess we should stop him. They said stop him, so I'll do what the game said for the tutorial. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to the case. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog? I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Okay. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, apparently so did a lot of dudes. Hey-o! Well, did you or did you not? Well, I mean, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. He went. What do I do? You know what? Say what you did. Yeah. We can't stop you from answering every time. I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth! Yeah, I was there. I went. Order. I mean, as long as you're not lying, it should be fine. Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so, like, I didn't see her. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? Me! The man who found the victim's body. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's bill. What year is it? 1943? Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. Is that going to be like a running joke? Everyone's got stupid names. I'm sorry if your last name is Sawit. Mr. Sawit, you sell... Actually, I shouldn't say that name's stupid. I'm sorry. You sell newspaper subscriptions, is correct? Ah, yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sawit, granted, he's a murderer, so what do I care? You may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness testimony? Okay. I was going door-to-door selling subscriptions. Door-to-door newspaper salesman. Like, I'm pretty sure that job died out in 1843. When I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Also, is he, like, taking his pants off? Thinking it's strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there. A woman, not moving. Dead! I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in our apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. So 1 p.m. Do we know when she died? Time of death, 4 to 5 p.m. Okay, so we win. You've lost. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that, but he lied. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Shut up! Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sowett used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Blackout record added. It was out from noon to 6. Okay. That matches up. Now, Mr. Wright. Yeah. Yes, sir? You have begun your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, Wright. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in their testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Well, shit, I don't know. Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Open the court record with tab, then point out the contradictions in the testimony. I mean, it's kind of funny that, like, the actual prompts show, controller prompts, but the dialogue uses keyboard stuff. Okay. So we're looking for 1 p.m. A woman not moving dead. Quelled in fright. Thought to call the police immediately. The phone in her apartment wasn't working. Found a public phone. Remember the time exactly. Okay. Well, wait. 1 p.m. Are you certain? Yes, absolutely. Yes, he seems really confident. 1 p.m. Right. Doesn't that say... Yeah. I thought I think I hit the wrong button. We're looking for murder. Present. Get blasted. You found the body at 1 p.m., you're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. Oh, it's playing the music, dude. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. By God, that's Phoenix Wright's music. There's nobody to, there was nobody to find at 1 p.m. Mr. Wright, your client is sentenced guilty for your bad joke. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? That's, everyone knows those autopsy reports are rigged. This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sowett, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Well, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through this one, and their whole story falls apart. Oh, wait, I remember now. It was 1 p.m. in New York. I had the wrong time zone. Would you care to give your testimony again? Okay. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Yeah, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. The blackout? The blackout? Right. You know what to do. I got this one. There was a blackout? Now the question is, what part do we want to... Okay, heard the time. There was a voice coming from the television. That is electricity. You've been blasted. Hold it right there. Prosecution has said that there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Mr. Wright, would you please quit playing that boombox every time you get something correct? Well, the defense has a point. You have an explanation for this, Mr. Sowit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Maybe she had a generator? Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sowit? The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That and you seem rather, distraught? What? What do you mean I'm wearing a toupee? My apologies, Your Honor. It, must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sowit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Okay, hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. Come on, dude. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine. I mean, do we really need to? Gladly. Okay. Didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock. Wasn't there. Yeah, the murder weapon. Wrong. Wrong! Get out of here with that weak shit. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue that my client totally didn't use, because he's a weak-willed boy who could never wield such a powerful object. Now, is this supposed to be a clock? You and your objections and your evidence, just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sowit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may, can we change our plea to insanity because my client is clearly fucking bonkers? Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch, you just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submit it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. How would he know that? Do you have any problems? How would he know that? Yes. Your Honor, there's a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I'll prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sowit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never. Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw, she wouldn't buy my damn newspapers. Shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you, I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn to give him death. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. I would like to retire from being a lawyer. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright? Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sowit heard was definitely his clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... I mean, does it have... I mean, well, let's look. It doesn't mention anything about that. I mean, I assume it's just if you just do the sound again. She lived in an apartment by herself. I mean, I would say it is... Just make the clock make a noise. Let's sound the clock here in the courtroom. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I asked the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Ah. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sewit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sewit, try to talk your way out of this one. Time is an illusion created by man. It's nothing but a construct that keeps us from reaching our full potential. You forgot one thing. Oh no. What's he talking about now? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? I mean, it could... Oh, is it that it's not 3 hours slow, it's like 8 hours fast? That makes any sense? Because it's like the Paris thing? It was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder. If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. I mean, it's about creating a reasonable doubt, Your Honor. It doesn't actually matter. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sewit. I come all the way down here to testify and look what happens? You treat me like a criminal? A criminal? You lawyers are all slime. Almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Did I lose? Not so fast, Mr. Sewit. Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But, Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yeah. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? I mean, my initial thing is, I don't actually know where this game takes place. But, I mean, if it's somewhere in America, like a 8-hour discrepancy, or however many hours it would be, flying from Paris would kind of make sense. Well, does it actually... Yeah, they arrived home from Paris. I mean, I guess if they took the statue with them... Find it and let them it's also the only piece of evidence we haven't used, so... Well, Mr. Wright, you said the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha, tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see the evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. Let's go. Oh, you've been taking that? The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. Of course we all know that. Not 8. Only a fool would say 8. They'd have to be some kind of dumb loser if they couldn't do simple math. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow. It was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sewit? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Phoenix Wright, your case is being thrown out. Your client is going to be given the death penalty immediately. Oh, you fucking killed him, dude. He just murdered that man. Order, I say. Call an ambulance, but not for me? Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness? He's fucking dead, dude. He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I have to say, I'm impressed. I feel like you could have an entire game series named after you, in your exploits. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. And find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts. Do we not have a jury? Don't they have to deliberate? Or, I mean, really, wouldn't the case just be thrown out? Like, I assume the prosecution would drop it? And with that, this court is adjourned. It will still remain on your client's record for the rest of time, though, and he will never be able to find a job. It turns out that Frank Sawit was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check out and see where people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawit let himself in to do his dirty work. And while he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawit grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. The district court, defense lobby, number 2. It's always number 2, dude. Whew, I still can't believe we won. It's the world's only trial that was done in a single day. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Actually, you owe it all to me, dummy? Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. Even though someone did mind control you to say certain things at various sections throughout the trial. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. I'm totally gonna slide in those DMs. I mean, she's this glad. Imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? I'll never be able to get a job again. It'll forever be on my permanent record. I'll tell him that they should have been expunged, but I couldn't afford to pay the fees. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no, I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was... Nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat, get shit-faced drunk? No, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one that got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. What do we get? Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that just make you want to cry? Larry, are you so sure? Excuse me? You can't say that. I say that. I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Don't you have something to show your friend? I do. Something that proves how she felt about him? Oh, yeah, it's our phone bill. She wants you to pay it. Yeah, she left you all of her debt, actually. It was put in your name? The heck is she talking about? Oh, that she still had the statue, maybe? Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Because no one would carry that thing around willingly. What about the clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. No one would carry that around if they didn't have to. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Plus, I don't have to pay you. Hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things can change depending on how you look at them. People too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go what you believe in. Never. I mean, this sounds like the end of the game speech. It's already over? This is a one-shot? Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me, yeah, on you. We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him? Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? He's in there, dude. And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends," but I'm pretty sure he's not gonna pay us, unless you count the clock he gave Mia. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. That's fucking ominous. Well, that's the end of the game. You'll have to come back for Phoenix Wright 2 to find out what happens. Okay, a brand new episode has been added. Okie dokie. I would indeed like to save my progress. That sounds good. Turnabout Sisters. Oh, did they all start with Turnabout? Alrighty, that's a good place to bring our first episode to a stop as we hear the most annoying sound in the world. In the next video, we will, see what's about to happen in case number 2, the Turnabout Sisters. I'm Actual Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.